Welcome to my channel, Sonia Unapologetic. My name is Sonia, and on this channel, I talk about mental wellness and living a free life from a Black woman's perspective. Before we go any further, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I post a video. So, this video is about overcoming fear. Um, but before we go any further, let me talk about some, I guess, housekeeping items or just some business ventures that I have coming down the pipeline. So I am introducing Sonia Unapologetic journals. So there's just different journal designs. I'll talk about it a little bit more in the broadcast as well, but it's on Amazon. So it's going to be amazon.com/author/journals. So I'll put that in the comments here, but also it's in the description box as well. So that's very exciting. Just all different types of designs that I have, all different types of journals. So we have self love journals, travel journals with different styles. So, like Mexico travel journals, Thailand travel journals will have travel journals that don't have a specific country in mind. So, yeah, we have just anything that you need and just different types of options. Speaking of options, I'm also creating a trading journal. So it is called Black Ladies Trade Too, and it's a trading journal with a beautiful design of a Black woman on the front of the cover. Also, another journal that I am very excited about is a decluttering journal that I have. So, again, visit my Amazon author store and it'll be in the description box as well. And over time, I'll just continue to put out more and more designs, more and more types. And so there'll be something for everyone. Also, me and my sister friend Sandra from the channel From Lack to Legacy, we have a business venture right now to where we're helping people with relocating specifically to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. So we have a service that will help you move abroad, take a sabbatical, or even if you're looking to visit Playa del Carmen, but you just need that information just to help with everything going smoothly. So we have that available as well. At this point, for that, you can just reach out to us on Instagram. Me, it's Sonia Unapologetic. Sandra, it is Sunny, SUNNI 11111. That's Sunny with 5 ones after it. So for now, reach out to us on Instagram, but also we are working on websites. So the Sonia Unapologetic website is under construction right now. The From Lack to Legacy website is also under construction as well. So we're working on that. And so the websites will be up and running and we'll let you know when that's available. So that'll be exciting and a wealth of information. So let's see who's in the chat. Lisa, good evening. Of course, From Lack to Legacy. Hey, Sandra. Shana, hey, good afternoon. Thank y'all so much for being here. And you guys were here and helped me celebrate reaching 1,000 subscribers. I am so happy and just so honored that you guys have been rocking with me for over a year. So I thank you all so much. I'll put in the description box as well the session. We had 3 sessions that we did to celebrate reaching 1,000 subscribers, and then also From Lack to Legacy reaching 500 subscribers. So we did a virtual bar hop to where we started with Where's Ali's channel, and then we went to From Lack to Legacy, and then we ended the virtual bar hopping with yours truly, Sonia Unapologetic's channel. We had a ball, and you guys, it was just so much fun. So Shauna says, I'm so happy for you ladies with the websites. It'll be much easier to access information for sure, because everything will be there on the website. The journals, the link to journals, the link to, of course, this YouTube channel, the link to the consulting services to where you can schedule things on the website. So that will be a lot easier. And then Shauna says that the channel hop was lots of fun. That was a lot of fun. But yes, so we're here today talking about overcoming fear. So there's just a lot of different things that people have put in the comments of my videos. That they have fear with certain things. There's things that we want in our life, and things our heart desire, and we might allow fear to get in the way of that. Digital nomading, for one. There was someone in the comments of my video, I'm a digital nomad, to where she said that that's been something that she's had fear about. And I want us, if we have fear about things, for us not to feel embarrassed about it, or for us to like push it behind, because sometimes we aren't honest with ourselves that we're experiencing fear. It's like we'll just not deal with it, and then we'll never move forward to reach our goal. So digital nomading can be something that is a fear. That was definitely a fear of mine, because I felt like, okay, if I get rid of my lease in the US and I'm just jumping around, it's like, okay, I'm homeless. Like, what do I do? And so I wanted to experience, seeing other places besides just being in Texas. Um, and it's just like I felt like having an apartment, it kind of had me locked down. It's like, I don't mind being in a place for a couple of months, but having to be in a place for a whole year sometimes can just feel a little bit weird. So I always knew that I wanted to do digital nomading, but there was that fear behind it. Moving abroad, that's another thing that. And Shauna says you're an explorer, not homeless. Thank you, Shauna. That's true. I mean, that's the way I feel now. It feels a lot better now. It sounds like someone is out there mowing the lawn. It's like dark outside, but I don't know if y'all hear that. But moving abroad is another thing that a lot of people can have, fear with. And that's why this channel is about, mental wellness and living a free life from a Black woman's perspective, because I want to be able to encourage others that even though you have fear, you can still live out your dreams. And so with moving abroad, don't wait until you don't feel any fear to move on and do that, because the fear will still be there, but just feel proud of yourself when you're getting on the plane. Even if you still have that fear, you're moving past it, you're moving along even though you have that fear. So that's some encouragement that I want to give to others. Another thing right now with living a free life, a lot of people are resigning from jobs. We have the whole great resignation, and that can be extremely scary. Even if you're in a job to where you feel like it's not the right job for you, you feel like you're stressed out, you feel like your health is being compromised by the stress, and it's like you want to resign from that job for your mental health and for your physical health, but there's still that fear there. So you'll understand that you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. A lot of people are in the same situation. But if you can do it scared, like Sandra says, if you can do it scared, you will see the rewards from having that fear and feeling the fear and doing it anyway. I think that's a book, if if I'm not mistaken. Another thing that people have talked to me about as far as feeling scared about is starting a YouTube channel. And that's something that I want to help others with as well, as far as providing some consulting services for ladies who want to do a YouTube channel, but they may feel stuck as to what type of YouTube channel, that, they should have. It's like they're passionate about a whole bunch of stuff, but then they're like, okay, how do I put this together to, have this topic to where I'm not like all over the place. So I definitely want to move into that as far as consulting services to help others who want to start a YouTube channel but feel like, okay, where do I start? Another thing that we might be fearful about is dating. So that's something. There's just so much out there in life that we feel like they're our dreams, but then we're scared about it. And so, like, again, like I said, I want to encourage others not to feel embarrassed about being scared and to give yourself grace. So let's see. Lisa says, yes, my mental health. I'm 50 and ready to go. Yeah, a lot of people are ready to leave a job, and ready to leave the US or any country that you feel like is not serving you, or any just area in general. It might be just moving to a different state, in the US. But yeah, you definitely want to move forward so you can do what's best for your mental health. So for me, one thing, a fear of mine that I've felt like so embarrassed about, and I want to take my own advice and stop feeling embarrassed about it. Okay, so for me, it's the fear of water, which, not drinking water, but like fear of like with swimming. And I've taken swimming lessons before. I've even, you guys saw where I talked about getting in the ocean and snorkeling with sea turtles. Of course, that was so amazing in Akamal because, basically the guy just kind of, had me holding on to a lifesaver, and he was like swimming through the ocean, like pulling me along. But still, there's that fear, and I felt so embarrassed for so long. And it kind of feels like a relief to finally admit that, because I feel like once we admit what our fear is, it doesn't have that control over us anymore. Um, because when we like, keep that fear to ourselves and we like harbor it and don't share it a lot of times, I feel like that definitely holds us back. So I feel like it's very important for me to admit what my fears are and for me to try to get through it, because for so long I just felt embarrassed about it, and felt like, okay, there's, and then also it's like I'm here in Playa del Carmen, it's like it's water everywhere, and so it's like I'll get in the water, but there's still that feeling of panic, like if I accidentally stumble face first in the water. It's not funny, but there is still that like feeling of like, oh my goodness, that feeling of panic. And that has been an embarrassment for me for so, so long. And I mean, I've read up on, where that comes from. It's like I'm definitely not the only one feeling like this. For me, unfortunately, I had a family member close to me who passed away as an adult, drowned. And so that definitely has to be some of the reason why that fear of water is there. I'm moving past it. I've continuously, gotten into water, done things to try to move past that fear. And I know there's like two different types of fears of water. There's the aquaphobia, to where you're like just fearful, I guess, of water, like even like just water in a pool. And then there's another one that starts with T, to where you're fearful of like being in the ocean, and just like the idea of like, okay, what's all in the ocean? And so I don't think that I necessarily have this huge fear of like, okay, what's in the ocean? Because it's like I got in the ocean, and like even like if I felt like schools of fish or whatever, or things kind of touch on my leg, I'm just kind of like, okay, so it's like there's not necessarily, I know it sounds so weird, there's not that fear of necessarily being in the ocean. It's like that fear of when, it's hard to explain. It's so hard to explain, because I guess when I was in the ocean, I had on the snorkel stuff. So the fact that I can still just breathe with that, um, it wasn't, as bad. But man, just any time that I accidentally stumble and I'm face first in water, it can be 2 feet of water. I'm just like, oh my God. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I need to get past with that. So let's see. Sandra says we have to have safe spaces like this where we can tell the truth. That is so true. I want this channel to be a safe place. And anytime I get a comment that says, "Oh, I was scared of being a digital nomad. I was scared of this," and you encourage me, that means the world to me. So I definitely want this to continue to be a safe place, because I feel like when we admit what we're scared about, it's like, okay, now we can go ahead and tackle it. Um, Okay, so Shauna says, I only learned to swim within the last 5 years, but I've always loved the water, and would participate in water sports regardless. So that's one thing. When I've gone to like do group swimming classes, I didn't realize that there's a lot of people who don't know how to swim, but they're not scared of water. I thought that everyone that didn't know how to swim was because they were scared of water. And so when I got into like a group swimming class, and like the teacher was just kind of like, okay, do this, put your face in water and do this. And all the other people were kind of like, okay, put my face in the water, do this. Okay. I'm just like, then I felt embarrassed, because I'm like, okay, why is it that it comes so easy for them? And for me, I still had that, that anxiety about it. So yeah, that was like something that was so, it blew my mind to see all these people in my swimming class who had no fear of water at all. So it's almost like they just never got around to learning. But once they got into that class, it was just kind of like, oh, okay. It's like they were, playing games where like uh, diving into the water, and finding things, and throwing balls at each other and all this stuff. And I'm just like, okay, I don't feel comfortable diving in to get something off of the floor of the pool, and everyone else was just like so just open to it. And so I felt like, okay, I need to do lessons just by myself. But then I feel like when I've taken swimming classes, I feel like I should have like stayed in the pool like just constantly, because like if I give myself some time away from being in the pool, like when I went to the US back in July and stayed for 3 months, I didn't get into the water at all the whole time I was in the US. And so it's like then it's like I'm having to start back all over, because the comfort that I got from doing a couple of swimming lessons, I say with quotes, because there was that fear, I still didn't learn everything that I should have learned. But the fact that I didn't get into the water like I should have in the US and stayed out of the water, it's like, okay, now I'm like, I'm starting back all over, kind of, to where Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so hello, Global Sisters Connection. Global Sisters Connection also has a channel here on YouTube, so go check her out. The unknown of what actually touched me is a bit of a bother to me. Yeah, so that's uh Nicole, I'm sure like for you, I know we've talked about that. So for you, you were talking about like if you're in the ocean, something's on your feet or whatever, and you don't know what that is, to where you like, oh my God. Um, so for me, yeah, I don't know why. It's like I was like, ooh, these are so pretty. And the fact that the guy was pulling me along and I had the snorkel stuff over my face, I think I felt like, okay, just watch the fish, and then I'm just like, don't look back to see what's on your feet. Just just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. Okay, so Sandra says, Sonia, you face your fears head on when you swam with the turtles. Thank you so much. That was so amazing that I had ladies there who were supporting me and cheering me on. And then Shana is telling us the name of that fear of the ocean, the lassophobia. The lassophobia maybe is the fear of the ocean. So I feel like I have aquaphobia, but not necessarily the lassophobia. I don't know. I feel like that would be so nice if there was like just a water psychologist, if that made sense, to where someone like had you working out your water things, but they're also like they were counseling you through that. So I do have some sessions set up to where someone here in Playa del Carmen is supposed to help me with to overcome the fear of water. And so y'all, I guess pray for me with that, because I want to make sure, because I know a lot of times people are swimming coaches and they're just kind of like, no, we'll get you swimming. Um, but then I feel like I need something way deeper than that. It's like I need someone to kind of be there to counsel me through. So I know that I'm going to have to like learn how to float and just really just get like really comfortable and relax in that water. One of my best male friends, he was a lifeguard and he was trying to get me to swim, and it didn't work because it was just kind of like, okay, you can't, he was like, you can't learn how to swim in shallow water, we got to get you in at least 6 feet. And I'm just kind of like, no, I'm not ready for that. And he was just like, if your feet can touch the bottom, you're not going to learn how to swim. You gotta get into at least 6 feet of water. And I was just like, no, that is not going to work. And I think people who have known how to swim since they were kids or never had that fear, there is just like nothing you can do to like make them understand what's going on. It's just there's it's like they just can never understand. And that's why I go back to, I'm not saying my friend didn't like didn't have any type of understanding, but um I did end up having to walk away from the lessons because I was just like, okay, um it just wasn't working, for me. Let's see, water, Shauna says water can be therapeutic. So I do feel like I'm getting better. I do feel like I'm getting better. I still feel like I have a long way to go, and I have to give myself a lot of grace. And I see Angela. I see you in the chat as well. Hello, Angela. And so, okay, as far as I wanted to go back to the whole topic of grace. Okay, so there's a lot of things that, and I'm gonna talk about it from a Black woman's perspective. So for me, I have that fear of water and I have to give myself grace. But sometimes as women, we don't give others grace for being scared of other things, if that makes sense. So I might be scared of water, but then I might have a friend to where they're scared of dogs, all dogs, even tiny dogs. And I'm just kind of like, well, why are you scared? It's just a Yorkie. I feel like I want to give myself grace, but I want for us as black women or just anyone to give our friends grace because we're all scared of something. We're scared of just different things because I know someone in my family to where they are very courageous. If you give them the highest roller coaster, if you swimming, roller coasters, back flips, jumping, off of bungee jumping or whatever. It's like, that person has been so courageous with everything. But if you put a butterfly in front of this person, they're screaming. And so it's like, I wouldn't understand that because I was just like, wow, it's like you are so courageous with everything else. But if it's a butterfly or any type of little bug, it's like that person is freaked out. So we all just have different fears, and so sometimes it's crazy the way we understand our own fears, but then we don't understand other people's fears. So yeah, that's one thing that I want us to have grace with each other. And yeah, if you're watching the replay here, get down in the comments and talk about what is something that you are fearful of and you know that you have to overcome. I got into the whole discussion about the fear of water, but I know on my channel we talk a lot about digital nomading, moving abroad, just living that free life. So things that we may have, ways that we may have done things all of our life, now we're taking a leap to do something unconventional. So yeah, definitely get down in the comments and talk about that as well. And how can this space be a safe space for us to encourage each other through all different types of fears? Because if you want to be a digital nomad, it's like I want to be the person to encourage you to do it because I feel like I'm definitely someone who has a lot of fears. And so if I can do it, you can do it. If I can be out here being a digital nomad, if I can move abroad, visit, different countries, if I can start a YouTube channel, you can do it for sure. So let's have this space as a space to encourage each other. So let's see what else is going on in the comments. From Lack to Legacy, spa water, the cruise ocean water makes me queasy. So Sandra, are you talking about like water on them Carnival cruises? Because I've been on a Carnival cruise and the pools and like the hot tub on that Carnival cruise. I was like, it's like I'm good. I am good. So let's see. Okay, yeah, Shana. She says you need a peaceful approach to water, baby steps. Yeah, and I need someone to have an understanding of that and to be very, very patient with me. And I'm proud of myself because now, of course, I will put my face in water, but I don't know what it is. I'll put my face in water if I expect, that my face in water, if that makes sense. Like, if I just go ahead and put my own face in the water, great. If I fall into water, that is a different story. I'm just kind of like, tell my family that I love them. It's all over. And I don't know what that is. It's like I go into this fight or flight situation. Yeah, I become very irrational. And it's something about like for people who have that fear of water, um, people who can swim, they'll always just be like, well, just stand up though. But stand up. Like it's only 4 feet of water. Stand up though. It's like people who are fearful of water, it's like we the rational part, it's out the door. It's like in our head, it's just kind of like this is the end. This is the way. This is the way it ends for me, and that's not funny. But I know a lot of times we laugh because things are like uncomfortable. So yeah, there's just a lot of things that makes us scared. But that I'm happy that I'm getting over it. I think even that fear of water thing, that kind of made it tough for me with like dating. Because like when I was on the dating websites, I would see so many guys where it's like, yeah, you like to travel, I like to travel too. I'm jumping off of boats, I'm jumping off of yachts. It's like I went to Negril and we jumped off the ledge at I can't remember what's that place in Negril that I've gone to in Jamaica, to where people it's like a little restaurant, but people jump off the ledge into the water at that restaurant. I think it's in Negril. Um and yeah, I watched people jump off of that, but I did also watch someone who jumped off and they jumped off wrong. I think they hit the water just straight, and they had to like get in there and like drag that man up out of the water. 'Cause I guess he hurt himself. But I'm all over the place. But going back to like the fear of water and dating, it's just like I didn't want to like get into a situation with someone and then they feel like, well, you're not going to be there to jump off a yacht with me into the ocean. It's like I can't do this. Um, so let's see. Global Sisters Connection. You have to celebrate your wins, no matter if they are small or large. That is true. I have to be patient with myself and to not beat myself up. So yeah, it took a lot for me to even say like, "Hey, I have this fear of water." Because honestly, I didn't even realize that's what it was until I took a group swimming lesson, and everybody else was just kind of like, oh, "Okay, cool, let's do this." And then the swim teacher was like, "Oh, well, it seems like you should have been in the fear of water class." I'm like, okay, like I didn't even know that that was a thing. I thought that everyone who didn't know how to swim all took a class together. I didn't realize that everyone else who didn't know how to swim was just amazingly comfortable with water. They just didn't get around to learning how to swim. So, yeah. Let's see. So true. We could all show and benefit from more grace. Yeah, and I can't stress that enough because I've saw that through I've been on the receiving end of people being like, ew, you're scared of what? Ew, it's just this, it's just that, ew, you're scared of what? And then the same person, then they'll be like, oh, I'm scared of this. I'm like, wait a minute, you're scared of something because you had a lot of heat for me for being scared of something, and then come to find out that you're scared of something that I'm not scared of, and I'm scared of something that you're not scared of. I think for me, a lot of times, like I'll say it in my head, but I have to, and I won't necessarily say it to the person. Like, for the family member that I thought was just the biggest daredevil, but then a butterfly comes around. It's like I would just think in my head, like, man, but you're not scared of nothing. Like you're scared of a butterfly. It's like a lot of times I would think it in my head, but I wouldn't necessarily be like, ew, like it's a beautiful butterfly. Why are you scared of this? So, but yeah, we definitely have to give each other grace because I don't know if I know anyone that's not scared of absolutely anything. And it seems like a lot of times the people who um are like the biggest daredevils, sometimes they're scared of things that will seem small. Let's see. Okay, and then Sandra says to hit the like button. Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, hit the like button, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, if you're watching the replay, subscribe. Also share the channel if we discuss things in here that that you're enjoying. I definitely want to start doing a live every week for us to just meet and talk and be able to laugh together. Okay, Shauna says, I'm scared that I don't speak Spanish, but I'm still going to explore Mexico. Okay, that was a fear that I had as well. I was scared that with the little bit Spanish that I knew, I'm just like, okay, they're not going to understand what I'm saying, and I'm speaking slow, I'm speaking broken Spanish. And when I got to Playa in February of this year, I explored some areas that weren't necessarily the tourist areas. And so I got to a restaurant to where everyone was ordering in Spanish, and everyone was speaking in Spanish only. And I just like felt like this kind of feeling of panic, like, oh wow, I've walked in here, I'm in line, and everybody in front of me they're all ordering in Spanish. And so I just felt like, oh my goodness. And like there was there was a guy in front of me, and he was a black guy. So I didn't know, I was guessing that he was, hopefully, black American. And for a second, I was just gonna be like, hey sir, can you order for me? I was like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. And I felt like just kind of a sense of fear for a second. But then when I got there, I kind of spoke a mixture of English and some Spanish, and they understood what I was saying. I think they even started speaking in English to me, even though I was speaking a mixture of, I can't remember. But now it's gotten a lot better because even if I'm not saying it correctly, I'm like, I will do the best I can, and they'll usually understand, what I'm talking about. Let's see. Let's see. Guys just want to get you into a swimsuit. They don't care whether you can swim or not. That that could be it. Yeah, I think some guys that might be the case. They're like, hey, you can sit there. I'm gonna jump in the water, but just uh, sit there, just laying out and enjoying yourself. So yeah, and then Shauna also says people are bullies for sure. That's another thing for me. Just throughout life, when I was in elementary school, when I was in middle school, when I was in high school, and some situations, even in my job situations, I've dealt with a lot of bullying. I've been the recipient of bullying. And of course, a lot of times we do the best we can to, take up for ourselves or whatever. And, we're, going, back at them or whatever, or, defending ourselves. But still, it's like, I know when something is bullying. And I used to feel embarrassed to admit that. And now I'm just like, I'm not embarrassed. It's like, why am I embarrassed um when someone was, being rude and disrespectful to me? So why am I going to feel embarrassed about that? So I need to give myself a lot of grace, um grace that I am overcoming fears, grace that I'm living my dreams despite fears. And so that's what I want us all to do, is to live our dreams despite our fears. And definitely get in the comments if you're watching a replay, um, and talk about your fears. And then everyone watching, if you see someone in the comments who say that they're, having a fear or whatever, let's just encourage and send each other positive energy and love. And another thing I wanted to talk about, I know that Sandra and I were doing this consulting service to be informative about Playa del Carmen, but also if you need a consulting session just to talk to someone to get over fears, for you to, just say like, I'm concerned about this, I'm concerned about, taking a taxi, from, the airport, to Playa. I'm concerned about this or that or this, just certain things that kind of get your stomach in a knot. Um, Feel free to reach out and we can just, do a session, even if, of course, it's informative as well, but even if you're just kind of needing someone to talk through things and for someone to kind of be an accountability partner or whatever, we are definitely here. So definitely. Okay, so YOLO solo with Puffs and Chucks. And we all know that bullies are just insecure people, hurt people, hurt people. Definitely, definitely. And for a lot of us who were bullied when we're young, it's like, okay, we've overcome and we're living our lives. And yeah, I'm happy that I've gotten through it. I would not have wanted to be in high school at this time with all the social media and everything, because I see so many kids to where it's relentless. And I need adults to stop saying stuff like, oh, it's just bullying. We dealt with that when we were in school. These kids are so this and that and this. I see a lot of adults saying that, and that is wrong, in my opinion. That is wrong, because you can say that about a child, but if you had to walk into your office every day and you had to worry about Bob from accounting busting out behind potted plants and punching you in the face, you would be crying and running to HR. I can't believe this. Will this organization allow me to be treated like this? That was assault. I'm calling my attorney, but you want a kid to go through it. So, adults, we need to stop saying that, oh my goodness, it's just bullying. We didn't go through what these kids are going through right now. We didn't go through the relentless smear campaigns. Kids are and these kids know a lot about like technology. Kids will be sitting here leaking pictures of other kids, or just whole social media smear campaigns, to where these kids are like, they feel like they can never escape it. So yeah, it's not, we didn't go through what they're going through right now. We even see with adults, one thing can happen to you on social media and something goes viral, and adults are getting their lives ruined by things that's happening online. But somehow we think that kids are supposed to be just so much stronger than the adults. The things that we're asking kids to just suck it up with, we wouldn't be able to deal with half of the stuff at our job that we're asking kids to just suck it up with at school. So I don't know, that's kind of a little tangent. I'll reel it back in. Let's see. Okay, so Shana, I keep thinking I'll end up in a Mexican prison for underpaying a taxi driver. And yeah, it's and I feel you with that, because when people used to say like just, if you know the amount of what the taxi ride is, just give the taxi driver that amount and get out of the taxi. I used to feel like, no, I can't do that. I have to ask them how much it is, and I have to pay what they say, because what if and what if and what if. So there is that fear, because it's different from the way things are done in the US. In the US, you know what the price is. You're not going to walk into Walmart and not know what the price of a bag of chips is, and you're like guessing what the price is and guessing if they're overcharging you. So yeah, definitely. But Shauna, we're definitely here for you, like with the taxi situation, because Shauna, I think you mentioned that it was either you or someone else mentioned that in our 1,000 subscriber live stream last week. You were talking about just kind of that fear even before you get to Mexico, like that fear of haggling with taxes. I had that same feeling. Honestly, I still get that kind of feeling in my stomach sometimes with like, okay, it's like, I hope this taxi driver is not on some BS today. But I feel a lot better about the situation now that I've been here for a while. So yeah, it's just so important that we just kind of push through, and then each time it'll get easier and easier and easier. Okay, so let's see. Okay, global sis connection. I agree. It's on an entirely different level of bullying now. It's an entirely different thing now than what it was 20 something years ago. Well, not 20 something years from me, 5 years ago when I was in school. I'm playing with y'all. 20 something years ago, it was definitely different. Yeah, Shauna, you're right. We didn't suffer through the meanness and indignities kids put each other through these days. Yeah, it's like these kids are relentless. There's just a lot of people in general. This whole idea of like you trying to destroy another human being. I'm like, who has the time? Like, I dealt with a situation like that. I've dealt with a few situations like that in the job, market, or just out there in my career. But yeah, I remember one particular bully, and that's what I'm gonna call it because that's what it is. This person just seemed like they wanted to destroy me. I'm just kind of like, how do you have a spouse and kids at the house? How do you even have time? And it's like, how are you doing your work, but like busy trying to do all this to bully one of your coworkers. So and of course this situation wasn't a coworker, this was it was a boss. So yeah, it was just a whole like weird situation. Sandra said taxi drivers don't want no smoke. Yeah, you'll be surprised that when you know what the price is, um and Sandra has a situation like that. I think it was last week to where she knew what the price was. The guy was like, "Oh, okay." Um, he's just like, "Oh, I didn't know that you knew." And then we were in a situation, excuse me, to where a taxi driver he was quoting us U.S. dollars. It's like, why are you quoting us U.S. dollars? We live here. And then he was trying to quote like way more than it should have been. And then when we knew the amount, he's like, "Oh, okay, okay." So yeah. Oh, let's see. Um, okay, so Shauna, it was you, and you're saying it's one of the main things that bothers you. So yeah, definitely, Shauna. We are here to yeah, we're here to get you through that because yeah, I definitely want you to come here and for you to feel like okay, it's like let me be able to get into a taxi and feel that sense of security and yeah, because it's like there's so many other things that you want to get accomplished, and it's like you don't want that to be something that will hold you back from living your best life and having all this happiness here. So definitely we're here to encourage and get you through that. And Shauna also said parents would light you up for being a bully back in the day, but now parents aren't parenting. Yeah, I just saw a video online to where this lady's daughter was being bullied, and when she went to talk to the parents, it's like they were gaslighting her. They were just like, the dad said, "Well, I guess if your daughter is just so sensitive, I'll just tell my son to stop hanging out with her." And it's just like, wow, you really, it's like you're putting the blame on the victim. And it's just kind of like a lot of times with kids, it's like if the adults will lead the way and show them the right way, then the kid will be like, okay, if your parent will sit down and tell you the right way and tell you what's wrong, and you don't want to disappoint your parents, but if your parent is telling you, like, well, that other kid's just so sensitive, then maybe stop hanging out with these sensitive, then you're going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to just go and bully somebody else. It's like they should just deal with it. So, um, okay. And then Sean says, I won't even be able to pop off at taxi drivers since I don't speak the language. We were telling that guy in English, like, what? US dollars? Why are you quoting us US dollars? No, we live here. This is the amount. He knew exactly what we were saying. He knew exactly what we were saying. And then also, Shana, beforehand, just um, certain phrases, I live here, or it's like, or I know, no, I know the price is. It's like certain phrases. Go ahead and have those ready. Have those phrases ready in Spanish. Um, so you'll be able to tell them at least, those phrases that you want to tell them, you'll be able to know those in Spanish and let them know. So yeah, I know I've been on here for a bit. Y'all get down comments and let me know if you're liking the live streams, and if you guys are excited about us meeting here once a week for different topics. So I think that would be a lot of fun. Again, um, I've just launched the Sonia Unapologetic journals. I have an Amazon store with the journals. That link is in the description box. Right now, you'll see about 5 journals. You'll see a self-love journal, which is also helpful, I think, with the overcoming fear thing. It's like getting those journals and just write positive affirmations to yourself, because I think a lot of times we don't journal because we feel like we don't know how to journal. In the past, I've had journals, and then it's like page 1 is just kind of like, oh, today was a beautiful day, and then page 2 is just like, okay, today I enjoyed a beautiful day on the beach, and then page 3 is potatoes, eggs, milk. Okay, by page 3 I'm making my shopping list in the journal, and we don't want to do that. It's like, let's make it simple. It's like, even with a self-love journal, you can just every day write some affirmations to yourself, write some positive things to help you get over fear, write some positive affirmations to encourage yourself, and just to cheer yourself on, to for you to be your own cheerleader. So I think that is all I have. I can talk with y'all forever because I just so enjoy spending time with you all. I appreciate you all. This is only the beginning. I know that this channel will continue to grow, and I appreciate you guys being here on this journey with me, and on this journey with Sandra, as well, as we do these consulting services. And Shana says, I'll be seeking your consultation services. And we are here. And like I said, for now, until the websites are up, you can just reach out to us on Instagram. And then I'll have all of that in the description box. But in the future, y'all be looking out. I am working on SoniaUnapologetic.com. And then also FromLack2Legacy.com is under construction as well right now. So we'll launch the website, and I'm so excited about that. So I thank you all for spending this evening with me. I'm going to go ahead and hop off because I know Exodus Summit has the Mexico residency workshop that they're doing in 6 minutes. So I know some of you guys might be jumping on that. So let me go ahead and get up out of here. I thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, get down in the comments, hit the notification bell to be notified every time I post a video. And I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.